Stephanie has been living in fears for weeks, convinced that Jeremy was the one stalking her. Every strange message, every shadow outside her window, every anonymous call pointed back to him. On days of lies, suspicion spread quickly. Alex stood by Stephanie, but his patience ran thin. He confronted Jeremy more than once, his anger barely controlled. Each encounter grew more heated, and it seems only a matter of time before things turned violent. Steve and Jada also took the threat seriously. As seasoned investigators, they reviewed evidence, tracked movement, and even questioned Jeremy directly. His past behavior did not help his case. He had motive, he had opportunity, and he had history. The town began to whisper. Jeremy's name became tied to every incident surrounding Stephanie. I swear I didn't do this, Jeremy insisted during questioning, but his word carried little weight. Too many signs pointed toward him. Stephanie tried to stay strong, but anxiety followed her everywhere. She double-checked logs, avoided being alone, and leaned heavily on Alex for protection. Alex's frustration only grew stronger. If he comes near you again, I won't hold back, Alex warned, his voice shaking with rage. Yet all of them were wrong. The shocking twist comes when Stephanie is finally abducted. It happens fast. One moment is she alone in parking garage. The next she feels a cloth around her mouth, and everything goes dark. When she wakes up, she is tied to her chair with an unfamiliar room. Fear rushes through her. For a moment, she prepares herself to see Jeremy's face. But when the masked figure stepped forward and removed the disguise, her heart nearly stopped. It is not Jeremy, it is Owen. Stephanie's eye widened in disbelief. Owen has always been quiet, almost invisible. He was someone she knew but never truly feared. Seeing him standing there, calm and steady, is more terrifying than anything she imagined. Owen, she whispered in shock. Why are you doing this? Owen does not yell. He does not act out by anger. His voice is controlled, almost cold. He tells us that she and everyone else have underestimated him for too long. While Jeremy took the blame, Owen stayed hidden. He watches the chaos grow. He let others fight and argue while he carefully planned his next move. Stephanie pleaded with her voice trembling. Please, you don't have to do this. Let me go. But Owen reveals that this has been building for a long time. He feels ignored, dismissed, and pushed aside. In his mind, Stephanie represents everything he believes he lost. The rejection, the humiliation, the feeling of being invisible. Meanwhile, back in Salem, panic spread quickly once Stephanie's disappearance is discovered. Alex immediately assumes Jeremy has escalated. He storms out, ready to confront him again. Steve and Jada rush to piece together clues, but something does not add up. Jeremy seems genuinely confused and frightened when he learns Stephanie is missing. The investigation began to shift. Small overlooked details point away from Jeremy. A security camera showed a different figure near the garage. A timeline mismatch appears. Slowly, the jurors start to move closer to Owen. Inside the hidden room, Stephanie struggles to stay calm. Owen hints that he has an ultimate plan. He does not explain fully, but his tone suggests this is about more than revenge. He wants to make a statement. He wants to prove he cannot be ignored. The emotional tension grows intense. Stephanie realizes she misjudged the situation entirely. All the anger directed at Jeremy have been allowed the real threat to stay hidden. Now she must find a way to survive long enough for someone to find her. Back in Salem, Alex begins to question everything. If Jeremy is not the kidnapper, then who is? And how close have they been to the real danger all along? This storyline shifts the entire narrative. Jeremy may be innocent, and Owen has revealed himself as far more calculating than anyone suspected. Stephanie's life hangs in the balance as Owen prepares to move forward with his secret plan. Will Alex and the police discover Owen's involvement before it's too late? And what exactly does Owen intend to do to prove his tweet this point? What do you think Owen's real endgame is in this terrifying situation?